Hello everyone, it's Wonka time and I'm here with Yvette.
Hello.
And Wonka is directed by Paul King. Do you know who Paul King is?
I do not.
Well, Paul King is the guy who directed probably the most wholesome film ever made called Paddington Bear 2. Huge fan base for Paddington 2.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Not number 1.
Not number 1. Well, people like number 1, people love number 2.
I see.
Yeah, but we're not here to talk about Paddington 2, though we could do that easily. We're here to review Wonka, and I'm sure everyone knows what Wonka is, but Yvette, just in case, why don't you give a quick setup?
Yeah, okay, so simply put, Wonka is an origin story based on the character Willy Wonka featured in Roald Dahl's 1964 novel. Timothée Chalamet is cast as the young Wonka, an eccentric chocolatier with a pocket full of dreams to sell his delicious chocolate. In the process, he angers his chocolate competitors, including Arthur Slugworth, who does everything from sabotage to bribing the police in order to stop him.
And it's probably should be mentioned, I don't know if everyone knows, I didn't know this going into Wonka, this is a musical rendition. And Timothée Chalamet sings in this film. He sings. So with a film called Wonka, we should probably start with the Wonka himself, Timothée Chalamet. So Yvette, why don't you go ahead and start, tell us what you thought about Chalamet.
You go first.
You don't want to start with Chalamet?
No, you go first.
I don't want to start with Chalamet,
No,
you start with
first.
Chalamet.
No, you go first.
No, seriously, I'm afraid to. Paper, scissors. Oh, shoot, okay. All right, well, I don't want to start, but I'll start, all right? Honestly, I'm going to be honest. I'm a little afraid to talk about it because I don't want the Chalamet clan to come after me. I don't want them to throw their beautiful boy Blu-rays at my head. But whatever, you guys can take it. I'm just going to soften the blow first by saying that I genuinely think Chalamet typically is a very fantastic actor. He's a great screen presence. He's a cutie patootie, okay? But I just don't think that he was spot on perfect for this role.
Yeah. Yeah, and I hate to say it, I feel really bad because I know there's probably a lot of fans out there who love him, and I love him too, but I think the biggest issue was that he was miscast. It's not his fault, he was miscast. I feel like the role required an actor that has a little bit more like a funny comedic chops, I guess. There needed to be more of like a sense of play and looseness.
Right.
I'll be honest, he comes across like a little stiff and like overly rehearsed. Like,
Right.
I wish there was a little bit like, I don't know.
I
more
agree,
fun.
I agree.
Cherry picked by the pick of the cherry pickers from the Imperial Gardens in Japan.
The absolute 100% worst.
I think where Chalamet thrives, though, let's talk about positives,
Yes.
because I think where he does thrive is in some of the musical numbers. Chalamet can sing. He does hit all the notes. The film doesn't give him necessarily any like big belters by any means, but it's relatively safe.
Yeah.
But it's sweet, it's cute, it's nice.
Yeah, he's definitely cute in the movie. He's adorable.
Yeah.
It's just, is it Wonka?
Wonka, the character, he's kind of described as being an eccentric. We know Wonka as an eccentric, and you know, Wonka wears flamboyant clothing, but the personality that Chalamet brings feels a little too low key, and it might just be like a clash with direction and, you know, Chalamet not knowing like how strange and odd he can push the character within this vision. But yeah, it all just came across like as a little bit too safe and sometimes even like half committed by Chalamet. Like he didn't fully commit.
Yeah, it was definitely cute, but I feel like Wonka could be played more than just cute. And I don't want to compare too much to Gene Wilder,
Right.
but I
That'd
feel
be like unfair.
I feel like, yeah, because that performance is iconic. It's perfection. But I feel like in Gene's version, there's layers of intrigue and mystery surrounding, you know, his character. And there's also this like looseness comedically. There's like a sense of play. And he has this layer of wisdom.
Who ever heard of a snozzberry?
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.
Or maybe it's just kookiness, I don't know, but it feels like, I don't know if I'm in trusting hands or if I'm in the hands of a crazy person, basically.
Any signs that they are slowing?
This is definitely a different vision for Wonka, and I think it's fair to say that the 1971 version of Wonka is just much more interesting. Like there's a duality with that character where you feel like, you know, you're drawn to his character and mistrust him at the same time. But even the Johnny Depp version of this character had those eccentric and strange qualities. And I think any actor playing Wonka just needs those like innate qualities of just being a little bit of an oddball, unafraid to take bold choices. I'm not saying that every Wonka needs to have like a layer of being fearful of like if he's gonna murder children, but like I assume that at the very least, eccentric personality is like a must. It's important. And Chalamet is a fantastic actor. We know that. In films like Bones and All and Call Me By Your Name, he's amazing. But I don't know if he's exactly known for like his comedic chops.
To be completely fair, I don't think that this new version is supposed to be attached to the older versions, right? Like Timothée Chalamet isn't technically growing up to be Gene Wilder, right?
Right.
And it's also an origin story, so we're supposed to learn about how Wonka became this like kooky character. In the movie, we get flashbacks of him when he was a little boy, and that the little boy is always so normal, like such a cute, normal kid. Like, huh? So what happened? Like, where did things shift?
Yeah, like we see him as a kid when he's in these little flashbacks, and then we see him later where he's like the eccentric person with the hat and blah, 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 or suppose it's eccentric, but we don't know how he got there. There's still blank spots there. But yeah, that might be a direction issue.
Or writing.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to put all the blame on Timothée Chalamet. Paul King, we know, is the director of Paddington and Paddington 2. He's actually a really good director. You know, his films thus far have massive amounts of charm and sweetness and wit. He also has a nice flair typically for production design. It always has a, kind of a Grand Budapest-esque kind of aesthetic. But Wonka's style is actually, when you think about it, it's very similar to Paddington Bear. Like, if you swap out Paddington with Timothée Chalamet, you get Wonka. And personally, I just felt like maybe Paul King wasn't like the right fit, or at least for how I view Wonka. I don't know if he was the right fit for the reboot. Pun aside, I did find it incredibly sweet. Like maybe like too sweet. Like I have to get an insulin shot with how damn sweet this is. But old versions of Wonka have kind of been a little bittersweet. But this is just like too sweet for my Wonka. Too sweet for my Wonka.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
But there is still a flair for production design. There's a lot of great production design here. The script is occasionally very funny. The musical numbers are fun. They're catchy. If I had to compare this to other films that existed, I'd probably say it was kind of like, do you remember Jingle Jangle on Netflix?
Yeah.
Jingle Jangle or Matilda the Musical?
Yeah, I think it's a kid's movie, and I think those are two really good comparisons. Something that I really enjoyed actually was props. I really liked all the like gadgets and the little machines that they had. I thought props were very detailed. They had these really kind of beautiful, creative, imaginative chocolates. So it wasn't just like a block of chocolate. They had these really kind of creative and whimsical pieces of candy. So yeah, I guess props to props.
Props to props. So there are some fun performances I did enjoy. I enjoyed Olivia Colman. She's in the film, and Tom Davis. They play the swindler innkeepers. I thought they were really good. They're actually very similar to like those innkeepers in Les Miserables. There's villains of the story, and they were pretty template villains, but they were actually a pretty fun trio of actors. I enjoyed them working together. Keegan-Michael Key plays a chief of police that for some reason has a New York accent. I don't know, I may have missed why, I'm not sure. There's a bit of like weight humor with this character. I'm sure Twitter's gonna have a field day with that one. Hugh Grant's also pretty good. He has like a dry wit that I felt was kind of perfect for the Oompa Loompa. Yeah. Though the way the story kind of introduces the Oompa Loompa feels kind of half-baked as well.
Allow me to refresh your memory in the form of a song so ruinously catchy that it may never leave your mind.
Whatever.
Yeah, I'll be honest, the CGI for me was a little heavy at times. It's just not for me. It's not my cup of tea.
Not my cup of tea.
Also, one thing that I wanted to mention is that the film builds towards an ending that is pretty cute. I mean, it's meant to like tug at the heartstrings. I don't want to give anything away, but I feel like the film didn't do the emotional groundwork that was really needed to make that moment work.
Like, I agree.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. The story did feel pretty familiar too. Like, it works. But it's pretty darn similar to Paddington 2, actually. So all in all, I think we covered the film pretty well. But Yvette, what would you rate the film? On a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh man, I feel terrible, but I honestly was like a little bored.
Bored? You were bored?
I was just underwhelmed. Willy Wonka is one of my favorite movies, the original. So I don't know. That's probably not fair. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10.
I was bouncing on a 5. Personally, I think Chalamet was miscast. I felt he could have been less milder and more wilder. But he's very warm. It's a warm family Christmas film. But I didn't think the aesthetic was a great match for the character, at least the way I view it. But because of the crafts and some of the musical numbers, and we should probably mention that there are a few fun musical numbers.
Yeah, there is. There's some catchy little
Some
songs
catchy
in there.
Scrub.
Yeah.
That was a fun one.
Yeah, that's all I remember too. And the first one, I guess, the first song.
Yeah, and there's some
That's
like
cute.
fun musical numbers, the way they stage it as well. So for those reasons, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 6. Again though, I always want to encourage all of you to watch the film. I never want us to deter you guys from watching a movie. Don't let us be like a Christmas Grinch here. So watch it and let us know what you thought. But let's talk about Oscars. So surprisingly, WB is having an awards campaign for Wonka.
That's interesting.
They're going for it.
Okay.
I can report that at our screening that we went to, that the crowd was amused. The lady sitting behind me seemed to really love it. But I think for the most part, the crowd was kind of just mildly amused. So personally, I'd be a little surprised if this picked up really any major traction at the Oscars. I think maybe on its best day, like if I'm underestimating it, maybe it's similar to like Mary Poppins Returns, where it picks up costume design, production design, original song. I think the costume design category can be a little bit unpredictable anyway, so there's a chance that I think it can get in there.
Personally, I thought the costumes were okay. They were solid. I think they did what they were supposed to do. I don't remember anything particularly special about them. I think his costume is the most like interesting one, but it's actually more of an homage or like a modern-ish take on the original Wonka's costume. It doesn't really scream like originality to me.
If they showed a scene where Wonka had made the clothes, or like the way Corella, like part of the clothing design is part and integral of the movie, but there was no discovery of the outfit or the costume, and there's no real attention drawn to his hat or his clothing. So I think that would probably hurt the film. So I wouldn't be shocked at all if it gets in or doesn't get in. So I would say realistically, Wonka could get anywhere from like 0 to 2 nominations. Best chance being original song and maybe costume design. Like BAFTA could go a little heavier on it, like they did Paddington 2. I don't know if you know this, but BAFTA actually nominated Hugh Grant in Paddington 2.
Oh, he's back.
So who knows, maybe Hugh Grant picks up another supporting nomination as the Oompa. Not really, but it could pick up some craft categories at BAFTA. Maybe Best British Film nomination, but that's kind of pretty much all I see. I don't see Wonka making a big splash at the Oscars. But that is our review of Wonka, but who cares what we think anyways? We're just a bunch of millennials.
Yeah, actually, I'm curious to know, what did you think of Chalamet as Wonka? Is there someone else that maybe perhaps you'd recast? Let us know.
And thanks everyone for watching. We got some more reviews coming up and other Oscar-related content, so feel free to hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter, Letterboxd, links in the bio. And until next time, everyone,
We'll see you at the Oscars.
Should we really say we don't like Wonka? I'm afraid about the Timothée Chalamet fans.
Yeah, I know.
We should just do the review again and say we liked it.
I loved it.